Let's get the views now of Unionbank Chief Economist Carlo Asuncion. He joins us on the final word. Carlo, thank you so much for joining us. Do you agree with the President that the government has run out of funds to provide aid for the people?
Yeah, well, first of all, the money that was the first part of the Bayanihan bill, the Bayanihan Act is not yet. I would say, because we know that the government has historically has been having problems with distributing money and even in infrastructure spending money. So I think that the spending of money and acknowledging that there is no more funds there, it should be clarified further, no? And I think that we should actually be talking about, Congress should be talking about this already. I mean, between the executive and being able to hash out, kasi we haven't really seen
Right.
the fiscal stimulus yet.
That's
No?
right. It was
And
supposed to be approved before the session went into recess in June. And now there's this Bayanihan 2 Act. But a lot of senators and politicians are saying it is not enough, 140 billion pesos. And it seems like they're even haggling with the Finance Department and NEDA to come up with the funds. So what are the options right now? Should the build project be realigned to the COVID-19 response or even the defense budget?
I think it should be more than just where the sources of funds should come, is the mindset. You know, just like any other Filipino family, the head of the family, if push comes to shove, you have to find a way. And it actually speaks to the Filipinos' resiliency amid the crisis. And I think that I mean everybody should come together and get their act together to find a way how to fund this, because this is really part of. I don't know if you heard about what you call the hammer and the dance, sort of the analysis of this COVID-19 pandemic, where you have to, the first part is you have to hammer it really strong, and then of course there's the impact in the economy and what we've actually done last March. That's the hammer, but now we're at the part of the dance, and this particular rise of infections are actually expected and not
Right.
entirely a surprise.
Yeah.
And that we should be able to dance with it, and
But, but,
there
but
should be some sort of somebody who will, sabi ko nga, magkukumpay
But
together.
Carlo, there's really no concrete plan from the government on where this money should be coming from. Maybe we should be selling government assets or even maybe properties overseas, like where embassies sit, to make up for the shortfall in funds.
With this situation, actually, it comes to mind about what happened in Korea in the financial crisis of the past. Not this recent one, but when people were asked to actually give to a common goal. But we don't have to go there because we're not Korea or we're not that rich, a
That's
country.
right.
But I think it should really start at the top and get the act together.
So,
Find get together and find a way.
So Carlo, if we are really indeed running low on funds, why are international lending institutions like the Asian Development Bank lending us money? And why is our credit rating still stable and above investment grade?
Yeah, well, actually, that's the one that they are carefully treading, because but we know that in the past the debt to GDP ratio has been declining, and I think that even Secretary Dominguez has mentioned that we can go as high as 50%. So we do have room. If he's saying that, we do have room to actually wiggle, and be able to come up with necessary funding moving forward, and to be able to address, and be able to dance, as I mentioned, efficiently.
But how can we really dance, Carlo, when our national debt right now is at over 9 trillion pesos, and that is equivalent to about 83,000 pesos per Filipino that is owed to all of these lending institutions. This is a huge debt pile that has to be cut down.
Yeah, again, I said, this is something really, it's unprecedented, and I think that it really needs a lot of thinking minds and getting together, to just really hash it out. And from Congress to the executive
Yep.
to really just get together and find a way.
I'm sure
how to do
Filipinos
it.
are confused, Carlo, because the president says we don't have money. But when you talk to the economic managers, they say that we have the money and we don't have to sell any of these government state assets. Sometimes, Carlo, the president says something and it gets magnified, and the spokesman will always say that don't take his statements literally. Is this one of them?
Well, the last time I heard this statement was also I heard it's not something new actually that he said that. I think even the plan of selling assets was actually I think immediately or a few months or a month after or a few weeks after the major lockdown in March. I think that he was also saying that.
That's correct.
But we're still here anyway. So, and we're still talking about 140 billion that's there, and then potentially something that we can talk about. The legislative can talk about with the executive on how to come up with a consensus about a bigger fiscal
Well,
stimulus.
they have to get that 140 billion pesos done because a lot of people need it, especially the micro and small and medium-sized enterprises. Carlo
I
Asuncion,
agree.
Chief Economist at Unionbank, thank you so much for your insights.